If you're crushing breakfast, eating healthy all day, but then destroy an entire bag of chips late at night, it is not a discipline problem. It is your meal structure. In fact, most nighttime cravings that we experience are actually created earlier on in the day at breakfast. So today, I'm going to show you the exact three meal system that I use personally during my bodybuilding preps, my marathon trainings, high rocks trainings, and that we implement with hundreds of busy men who have lost 30, 40, even up to 50 pounds. Now, before we get into it, my name is Conan. I'm an ACE certified personal trainer, online fat loss coach, and I've personally competed in 3 bodybuilding shows. I have ran 6 marathons, and I have done 3 high rocks competitions, all whilst helping hundreds of busy men drop 30 all the way up to 50 pounds without sacrificing their favorite foods or spending hours inside of the gym, or on the treadmill. And today, I'm going to show you why your cravings are not random, they're actually predictable. And once you understand this, you stop fighting your appetite and you actually start controlling it for once. Now, let's start with point number one, which is this. Most nighttime cravings start before noon. So many people think that it is an acute thing of like, my nighttime cravings happen at nighttime. No, 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 no. You got to track back way, 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 way before. Because whenever someone tells me I have cravings at night, I binge on my diet at night, I don't ask them, how do you feel at night? I typically ask them, what are you doing earlier on in the day? How does your morning actually start? Because so many people think that they just have a bad discipline problem or they have bad self control when they end up binging at night. But this is completely wrong because most of your cravings are simply delayed hunger. And I see this constantly. A guy will skip a breakfast and he'll have a coffee instead, maybe a granola bar at 10 a.m., a tiny little salad for lunch. And then they'll get home and they're completely exhausted, physically, mentally drained. And then suddenly they'll eat close to 3,000 calories right after dinner. They thought they were being disciplined. They thought they were being good on their best behavior earlier on in the day by eating like a rabbit, eating like close to like no calories, close to no food. But it tends to always backfire for all these people because once again, these nighttime cravings are due to delayed hunger from earlier on in the day. And if this sounds familiar, you've probably experienced this before. And so if you have experienced this before, here's actually what is happening to you. And now research consistently shows that protein is the most satiating macronutrient. And I talk about protein all the time. It takes a bit longer for your body to break down and digest. It is great for preserving muscle mass while you're in a calorie deficit. It is a non-negotiable if your goal is fat loss. You need protein. And meals that combine protein with fiber and minimally processed carbs help you stay fuller for longer. This is the cheat code: protein plus fiber. Now, when protein intake is front loaded across the day instead of saved for dinner later on at night, appetite tends to be far better controlled throughout the evening. And studies show this because your body doesn't forget calories, it collects debt. Then it asks for payment, which is usually after work. And when you're tired, your decision fatigue is high, and the pantry is 5 feet away, you tend not to make the best decisions. So try your best to front load your protein and fiber as opposed to saving your calories for later on in the day because it always tends to backfire. And I learned this the hard way during my bodybuilding preps. I've done 3, like I told you at the start of this video. And I used to have this mindset of like intermittent fasting and saving my calories, having a tiny breakfast, having a tiny lunch, tiny little snack so that I could end up having a bigger dinner in the evening. And for some people, this approach can work. But for a lot of people, especially when you're coming home late from work, you're exhausted, mentally fatigued, brain power is close to zero, and you're surrounded by all these like random snacks in your environment, you tend not to make the best decisions when it's late at night. Your decision fatigue is very, very high, and you're just craving something sweet, right? So going back to my personal story, I used to save calories for dinner because I thought I'll just white knuckle it all day so that I can reward myself at night. Now, this was a terrible idea because by 8 p.m., usually every single commercial, as I was sitting down watching TV, that I would see would look like food. So I'd walk into the kitchen 10 to 12 different times, not because I was weak, but because I was literally starving, right? Now, once I switched to larger protein rich meals earlier on in the day, evenly spaced out, those cravings late at night started to vanish. They actually started to disappear. Not because randomly like my willpower improved, but because my physiology improved. So here's the fix that I need you to make right away, like right now. I need you to have three main meals every single day: breakfast, lunch, dinner, right? And I'll make sure that within every single one of those meals that you eat moving forward, there's at least 40 to 60 grams of protein, depending on obviously how big you are, but you want to have protein, a good quality source of protein inside of every single meal. If you were to show me a picture of a meal and there's no protein in it, I'm like, put it away, put it back. That is not a meal. It is, I don't even know what you want to call that, but anything that does not have protein in it is not considered a meal. So think of your ideally a lean source of protein, so your chicken breast, any type of white fish, tilapia, cod, egg whites, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, lean ground beef, lean ground turkey, all these things. Incorporate one of these foods into your diet. And then on top of that, a fiber rich carbohydrate. So this could be rolled oats, russet potatoes, sweet potatoes, a fruit and a vegetable. And then, excuse me, a moderate amount of fat. So think of like your avocados, your nuts, your seeds, your oils. So instead of trying to survive all day, just feed yourself properly throughout the day and satiate yourself. So you have steady energy, you won't have any crazy cravings, and you won't have to like white knuckle it all throughout the day, which I see so many busy men do. And I guarantee you, if you just follow this very simple strategy, your evenings will become dramatically easier to handle. Now, point number two, stop snacking and start eating real meals. Here's another massive myth that so many busy men believe. They think that eating six itty mini tiny meals spread out evenly across the day will boost my metabolism. It'll keep the furnace going, right? This is a big myth. It doesn't work like that. The thermic effect of food depends on how much you eat overall throughout the day and not how many meals you split it into. And more importantly, tiny meals, I don't know if you can experience this for yourself, but those tiny meals usually always leave you hungry. I view these tiny meals as almost like eeny meeny appetizers. And it's one of these things where it's like it'll give you a nice little taste, but it won't ever truly satisfy you. And why do you want to live like that? Why would you want to set up a routine of eating that puts you in a situation where you'll eat a bit and then before the main event or before you actually truly get satisfied, there's no more food left? And it's like, well, what the heck? What just happened? I just had a bite and now the meal is gone. And actually, weirdly enough, I am hungrier now after eating a little bit than I was before I even had that meal. Have you experienced this before? Where before going into a meal, you're not really that hungry, but then you have one or two bites, and then suddenly you're like really hungry now. And that is why appetizers exist at restaurants. That is why restaurants want you to order the appetizers, right? They'll give you something small, maybe like whatever appetizers people have, maybe some bread, some butter, right? Maybe some chicken wings, just something small to kind of like get the palate going. And once you have that appetizer, now you're hungry. Now you're hungry for the main course. And I view these six tiny meals that people have throughout the day, thinking that it'll do something magical to their metabolism. I view those small, eeny, meeny, tiny meals as appetizers. And you've probably experienced this where it doesn't actually ever satisfy you. So a better approach is to have larger meals less frequently, but they actually give you energy. They actually satiate you, and you can go hours without needing or without even thinking about food, right? It's a far better approach for most people. So instead of having six tiny meals, eat meals that actually satisfy you. And this is why I love meals that have chicken breast, potatoes, vegetables, Greek yogurt with berries, steak, broccoli, salmon, sweet potato. Do you notice something here? These meals take up a lot of room a lot of space inside of your stomach. They're high in protein, they're high in volume, they're high in nutrients, and they digest really slowly, unlike sugary bowls of cereal, muffins, cakes, Skittles, all these things. They absorb so quickly in your stomach, and once again, it doesn't leave you feeling satisfied, right? If you contrast these foods, these whole minimally processed foods, with a muffin or a granola bar or a juice, like these things disappear in like 5 minutes. And now, guess what? You are hungry again. That is not the goal of eating. The goal of eating is to satiate you, to make you full, to make you not think about food again. It is there to, it should solve a problem. Whenever you eat, it should solve a problem, right? It should solve the problem of not wanting to eat again for the next coming hours. It should solve the problem of giving you more energy so that you can carry on with your workday. Maybe you have some physically demanding work or maybe some mentally demanding work. Like your brain runs off glucose. You need carbs to think properly, to work properly, right? So you need energy, you need food, you need carbs, you need protein, you need healthy fats, you need all these things, right? So eat appropriate amounts of it that give you sustained energy as opposed to not doing that or having tiny little amounts of it and then thinking about food for the rest of the day, right? Now, one of my clients, he literally kept telling me, I cannot stop eating ice cream every single night. And now he thought he needed to have more discipline or to have more willpower. This was completely wrong because it turns out when we actually looked underneath the hood and we looked what he was actually eating earlier on in the day, during the day, guess what? Classic. His breakfast was a coffee, right? Minimal calories, just a bunch of caffeine with a bunch of creamers and sugars in it. His lunch was a tiny little sandwich with minimal protein in it. And that was it. That was literally all he ate. Minimal protein, minimal calories, minimal anything. And then, like, no wonder he was starving at night, craving ice cream. So, what we did with him is we switched him to three actual meals that contain protein and contain fiber. And guess what happened? His nighttime cravings literally dropped within a week. Now, he did not magically become more motivated. He just finally like stopped like eating eating mini little meals throughout the day. And he stopped walking around being hungry all day. So, what I need you to do moving forward is ask yourself this one question after every single one of your meals. Could I comfortably go 4 to 5 hours before eating again? If the answer to that question is no, that meal that you just ate was not big enough. So next time, eat a bigger meal. Now, of course, within the context of staying within your calories and macros, because you cannot break the rules of thermodynamics. You still got to stay within your calorie budget for the day. But again, like don't be scared to eat the majority of those calories earlier on in the day with more protein and more fiber to offset the likelihood of you binging later on at night. Now, let's move over to point number three, which is this: the meal that determines your entire night. This one's critical because hardly anyone really talks about this. But dinner isn't just about calories. It is about ending the day satisfied because far too many men finish dinner and they're still kind of hungry, which leads them to, once again, eating more for dessert and binging at night. And then they'll spend 3 hours grazing the pantry, grazing the kitchen, grazing the whatever, the fridge, the freezer. So to not have that happen to you, here's the system that I recommend. Your dinner should include 50 grams of protein, a large serving of vegetable, a slow digesting carb. Think of your russet potatoes, your rolled oats, or sweet potatoes, with a hint of some healthy fats. So, once again, maybe some avocado, maybe some olives, some olive oil, nuts, seeds, anything like that. And then the most important part is this: no one does this, but it's something I've been doing for years now. And it is honestly probably the most important part of this entire system. Right after dinner, what I need you to do is go upstairs into your bathroom, floss your teeth right away, and then brush your teeth. I like to do something called a floss walk. And this is almost like it's almost like a trigger for me where it's like as soon as I'm done eating dinner, it's almost like the cutoff of like, okay, as soon as I'm done eating dinner, no more food. So I have these mental cues in my mind that, okay, as soon as I'm done eating dinner, I go into my bathroom and then what I do is I grab my floss, then I go outside, I'll go on my post meal digestion walk, and then I'll floss my teeth. I'll do that. I'll come back inside. It was like a 10, 15-minute walk, helps digest the food a bit, and then I'll brush my teeth right away. And now that creates whatever you want to call it inside of my routine or a cue where like there's no more food allowed because once I have flossed, once I've brushed my teeth, it's almost like I don't want to be eating something afterwards again because then it means I have to floss my teeth again, I have to brush my teeth again. So if I do that right away after dinner, it just means that no more food is allowed. That is my cutoff to no more food. And that is something that I need you to start doing right away as well to prevent you from having dessert or binging late at night. Floss your teeth, then brush your teeth, and then maybe have some herbal tea if you want, and then just turn off the kitchen, turn off the lights in the kitchen, do what you can, and create a psychological finish line. Because habits like these of flossing, brushing, all these things matter just as much as your hunger. Now, studies on habit formation show that repeated environmental cues strongly influence your eating behavior. So, simply seeing snack foods or leaving the kitchen open makes eating more a lot more likely, even when you're not physiologically like hungry, because we tend to eat and snack not because of hunger, but usually because of boredom or because of habit, right? You probably have the habit of eating your dinner and then sitting on the couch watching TV, and then you associate watching TV with cracking open a beer or having a big bowl of Cheerios or a big bowl of Cheetos as you watch TV. Like these are kind of like habits and these are cues and triggers that we have within our routine. So we got to break these cues. We got to break these patterns and break these triggers so that we don't do these things anymore. Because most of men, like once again, you're not binging on your diet because you're necessarily hungry. You're binging because you have these habits and these cues and these triggers set into your environment. So get rid of them and create new ones, right? Your brain loves routine. Your brain thrives off habits. So give it one, but not a bad one. Give it a good one. And now during my final weeks before stepping on stage for my bodybuilding shows, I wasn't eating because I wanted to. I was eating according to the system that I created for myself. I'd have my dinner and then immediately after, floss, brush my teeth, maybe have some water, and then go to bed, right? Every single night. Now, did I still get hungry at times? Maybe sometimes, but the thing is, because my routine never changed, I stuck to my routine, I stuck to my habits. My brain eventually stopped expecting snacks. It stopped expecting food after dinner. It knew right away that as soon as dinner is done, we're going to be flossing our teeth, we're going to be brushing, and then no more food. Food is off the table. It's not allowed anymore, right? And this is something that will take time for you to obviously adjust to. But just like you have the habit of eating Cheetos at night, you can break that habit and replace it with a different habit of going on a post dinner walk, flossing your teeth as you walk, and then brushing your teeth right afterwards, right? And now today, I'm no longer in bodybuilding prep, obviously, but I still have the same habits, right? The habits are still there. Systems, habits, they always beat your motivation every single time. So to recap this video, if nighttime cravings are destroying your fat loss progress, I need you to remember these three specific things. So number one, eat three real meals, not tiny little portions, not six tiny little meals, three big meals with protein and fiber and satiating carbs, filling veggies, not snacks disguised as meals. Number two, prioritize protein and fiber earlier in the day. Don't try to save things for later, have them earlier in the day, right? And then number three, end your evenings with a good routine, not a bad routine, right? You want a good routine after dinner and not another trip to the pantry or to the freezer or to the fridge. Because here's the truth, you're not failing because you're weak or you're low in or discipline, low in whatever. The reason you're failing is because your system is weak. That is literally all it comes down to. So once you fix your system, your cravings will vanish, they will disappear. Now, if you are a busy man who struggles losing 30 to 40 to 50 to 60 pounds, however much weight you have to lose, what you can do right now is schedule a free fitness consultation call with me linked down below, where we'll essentially go over your current goals. We'll see exactly how much fat you're looking to lose. We'll go over your current struggles. We'll see exactly what is holding you back right now from achieving those goals. And then lastly, we will create a game plan together to help you demolish these goals in the next 3 to 6 months. So if that sounds good to you, the link will be in the description down below, and I'll see y'all there. Peace.